So in the previous lecture, we have seen the derivation part of projection operator, and now let us see an example and see how the actual projections can be calculated out of a given function. See, the job of a projection operator is to project out a part of function onto a irreducible representation so that we know that whatever function comes out is the basis of a given irreducible representation. So without wasting time, so let us actually try to take an example and see C3V point group example, because we have seen the all the matrices, and we have no difficulty understanding how the matrices are obtained for this particular point group now. So let's take an example of this point group, and what we are going to do is we will consider a general function. As of now, we are not taking any of the atomic orbital wave functions. We'll just consider a general function. Let us say x z plus yz plus z square. And this particular example I am taking, this is a solved example in Cotton book. So if you have any difficulty understanding, you can also refer to Cotton. But once we do this example, we should be through with how to use projection operator, and then we will take up unsolved examples also. Okay, so we will consider general function this under the C3V point group and see how to obtain function, let's say, out of this function. Which forms basis of E representation. So this E is the Mulliken symbol E, not the symmetry element E, okay, or symmetry operation. Okay, so let us first write down all the matrix elements for E representation for C3V point group. Okay, and now we have to expand on all the symmetry operations because the matrices are different, right? So C3V, this is the E representation which we are talking about. Okay, so for E symmetry operator, we have, it's a two-dimensional representation because it's E. So this is for C3, we have minus half minus root 3 by 2, root 3 by 2, and minus half. For C3 square, so I'm not going to show you how to do this now because we have already discussed this. C3 square is minus half, and this becomes plus, and this element becomes negative. This remains as minus half. Then we have sigma, let's call it as xz. Let's say sigma v1, which is basically xz, and one of the vertical planes we can take along the axis, and rest of the two will be in the middle of the axis. So this will be 1 0 0 minus 1, and for the other twos, sigma v2, this also we have learned how to write the matrices, right? So I'm just writing it straight away. So you can work it out yourself how to do this. Okay, so now these are the matrix elements. Now let us apply operators onto xyz. So let us do it systematically, so that because we are going to be using all of this, so let's make a table out of it. So here I'm going to write the function or the operator, and here I'm going to write the function. What happens to x, what happens to y, and what happens to z. Okay, so when E is applied on x, it's x, and correspondingly y and z. So nothing changes, right? Now for C3, now we can use this matrix over here to be able to say what happens if we apply C3 onto x. We get minus half x minus root 3 by 2 y. Okay, when C3 is applied on y, we get root 3 by 2 x. So you have the matrix. If you do it on xy, whatever resultant you get, you can just write over here. This is minus half y. So these two matrix elements are coming from here and here. These two matrix elements are coming from here and here, right? And z remains as z because C3 is lying along z axis. So similarly, I'm just going to write all the resultants of various operators onto this. So x and z does not change, y goes to minus y. So this is simple. Now for sigma v2, we have the matrix, so we'll just use that. Minus half x plus root 3 by 2 y, root 3 by 2x plus half y. All the planes are along z axis, so nothing changes there. Sigma v3 minus half x minus root 3 by 2 y minus root 3 by 2 x plus half y and z, right? So we now know what happens to each and every function upon these operations. So now we calculate effect of these operators onto the given function. So here we are calculating the projection out of x, the given function, which will have the symmetry, or which will form the basis for E representation. Okay, so that's why we have taken E representation matrix. So let's say what happens if we apply E onto xz plus yz plus z square. So this remains same. Now what happens for C3? Let us calculate for C3. So we first have to calculate, we already have listed down. So we'll first put here what happens to x multiplied by what happens to z. Similarly, what happens to y and what happens to z, and so on, right? So this is easy. It's just tedious calculation. Minus half x minus root 3 by 2 y multiplied by z. So C3 on x gives you this, C3 on z gives you z. So that's how xz becomes this. Now C3 on y gives you root 3 by 2x minus half y, and z remains as z, and z remains as z, right? So now we can separate these out, separate out the variables. So if we take xz common, so we will have xz coming from here also, so we can write this as minus half 1 minus root 3 xz. Similarly, I can take yz from here, minus half root 3 plus 1 yz plus z square. So this is the effect of C3 onto this function, which is written over here. So similarly, let us calculate for the rest of the symmetry operators. Okay, so for C3 square, so now I will just write down the answers. Okay, let's do it completely. Xz, xz. So you should be able to calculate. This one is easy. So again, I'll just write down the final answer. So that's what, so the calculation is tedious, but it is not difficult. This is minus half 1 plus root 3 xz plus half minus root 3 plus 1. Okay. So now let us calculate the projection of E IR representation onto this function. So let's calculate different matrix elements. So projection of E matrix element 1 1 xz plus yz. So remember that this is 2 cross 2, so we will have 4 elements of this 1 1 1 2 2 2 1 2 2. So we'll calculate one by one because this is a complete projection operator, so we'll have 4 elements coming out of this. So this one should have, so the dimension will come over here. Order of the group is 6, so that will go here 2 by 6. So remember the formula, Li by h, and then I have summation over all r. So that means summation I have to take for all r. Now we have to take, let's go back to the matrix element, this matrix element over here, and multiply it with the effect of E, or sorry, not this E, effect of E onto the given function, and multiply that with this one. Okay, so let's see how to do that. In short, I will write the function. Okay, now next will be the corresponding matrix element which of C3. So C3 will have minus half, and then the effect of C3 onto that function, right? That's what the projection operator formula says. So now I'll have minus half and effect of C3 onto the function. Similarly, for C3 square matrix, I have minus half again and effect of C3 square onto the function, and so on. Let us do it for 1 so that it is very clear. So 2 by 6 E, effect of E will give you xz plus yz plus z square plus minus half. Effect of C3 onto the function was minus half. Let's use the square brackets again. 1 minus square root 3 xz minus half 1 plus root 3 yz plus z square. So this is the matrix element of C3 multiplied by effect of C3 onto the function. And similarly, you do this. So if you do this complete calculation, the answer here, what you will get will be xz. I mean, you have to trust me on this because I have done this calculation and it's also solved in Cotton. But here, due to lack of time, so we'll not do it here. So I expect you to completely do it by hand. So please take this as home assignment. And do this calculation. Similarly, so the way we have calculated for P11, that is the 1 element of E irreducible representation of this. So let's also calculate PE22 xz plus yz plus z square. And if we do the same thing, what we will get is yz without any coefficient. So this one gives you xz, 2 element will give you yz. Similarly, we can do it for 1 2 and 2 1. So they will also give you the same thing. So P, I think 1 2 E on projection operated onto this function gives you yz, and P21 xz plus yz plus z square gives you xz, right? So all of this gives you this thing. So this implies that this particular projection of xz plus yz plus z square on EIR representation is nothing but a linear combination xz plus yz. Okay? And if you want to normalize, you can divide square root of the sum of squares of coefficient, which will give you 1 by root 2. So this is how the projection of this will be calculated on a given IR representation. So now if we try to use this as the basis, we will see that this thing forms basis of EIR representation. Okay, so out of a given function, we have what we have achieved here is we have achieved the part which is relevant for E representation, and rest of the part is basically neglected. So when we take this projection, what we get is this, and we know that now this thing will form the basis of E representation, right? So that is the job of a projection operator. So here we are dealing with full matrix elements like this. So we needed the all matrices, but in this particular case, when we deal with incomplete projection operator, we will be dealing with only traces, and the calculation is much simpler. So that's all for today. So please do calculate all the components yourself and complete this calculation and see for yourself if you are getting this thing as a result. Thank you very much.